Hello. So today we're going to look at API Analytics. Now, API access is something that really allows you to get value out of the Meraki dashboard. And whilst we've had APIs in the past to allow you to see all of the API calls that you've been making, there's been a little bit of space to do improvements with regards to having a look at who is making API calls and which are the most populous, etc., etc. So we've just enabled this. We can go to Organization and API and Webhooks. And what we can see immediately is that we have now a new tab which gives us API Analytics. You can see in the last 24 hours we've had 266 requests. They've all been successful and we've not hit our rate limit, which is really nice. We can see when the API calls were being made, and we can also see who was making them from a client perspective. We can see that XDR has been making some, and we can also see that we've been making some from Python as well. If we go over to operations, we'll see the API calls actually being made, and we can see that generate device camera snapshot is by far the most popular. And again, we can see that when we've been hitting rate limits and the amount of requests. We get to see who has been making these API calls as well. Every user gets their own API key, so we can see which user is making which API calls. And lastly, we get to see from where these API calls are coming from. So if you see an IP address that you're not expecting, then obviously you've got problems. The first IP address that you see is my home address, and the rest that you see is Cisco addresses. So this is API Analytics. Thank you.